You're just insecure. Don't ruin our anniversary. My name is Kevin. I'm 29. I work as a software engineer for a tech firm in Washington, D.C. I'd been with Brittany for 3 years. That night, we sat in a cozy restaurant overlooking the Potomac celebrating our anniversary. She kept checking texts from her coworker, Brandon. I asked why he messaged so much about work trips and private calls. It felt off. Her words hit hard. She barely glanced up from her phone. You're just insecure. Don't ruin our anniversary. I held steady. Brittany, this doesn't add up. She smirked while typing back. Fine, now drop the paranoia about Brandon. He's only a colleague. Her fingers raced across the screen, hiding replies from me. The room closed in. 3 years of her criticizing my clothes, my speech, my job. 3 years hearing I was fortunate she stayed. I need some air, I said. Whatever, grab that specialty coffee on your return. If you've dealt with similar relationship doubts or family tensions, hit like and subscribe for more real stories. Share your thoughts in the comments below. I stepped out of the restaurant into the cool D.C. evening air and slid into my car parked along the street. For a long moment, I just sat there, gripping the steering wheel, while thoughts swirled about Megan, Brittany's close friend from college. At group outings and parties, Megan often caught my gaze whenever Brittany delivered one of her sharp digs. She'd offer a subtle headshake, almost like an apology for behavior not hers to own. One time during Brittany's company holiday event, Megan had pulled me aside near the coat check. You don't deserve how she speaks to you, she murmured low. It's important someone tells you that. I dismissed it back then, attributing it to polite friendship, but sitting in the car now with the engine idling, I saw Megan as the sole person in Brittany's social web who had ever made me feel valued, not tolerated. My phone vibrated, breaking the silence, a message from Brittany. And make sure it's the low-sugar almond milk, not the full one. I held the screen, staring at those words for what felt like eternity, then swiped to delete without a reply. Instead of heading straight home, I drove toward a quiet bookstore in DuPont Circle, not because I craved reading, but simply to reclaim some control over my night. The shelves of books provided a temporary escape, flipping through pages on tech innovations that mirrored my own work projects. When I finally returned home 2 hours later, the apartment lights were off and Brittany lay asleep under the covers. I paused in the bedroom doorway, observing her steady breathing, and for the first time in countless months experienced absolute nothingness. No lingering affection, no building resentment, no self-blame over questioning Brandon's constant contact. Just a vast, empty tranquility replacing 3 years of constant effort to prove my worth. Moving to the kitchen under the dim overhead light, I scribbled Megan's number on a scrap of paper from the drawer. I'd copied it from Brittany's contacts months earlier, back when I still pushed for involvement in her friend circles and plans. Come morning, I resolved I'd reach out. Brittany and I first crossed paths at a tech mixer in Georgetown when I was 26, fresh from stabilizing my career. She was finalizing her communications major, radiating that bold edge that captivated me initially. 2 years into my role at the firm, I had steady income, pulling in solid figures after navigating rough patches in my early 20s. She pursued me aggressively those opening weeks, appearing at lunch spots near my office building, sending endless texts, creating the illusion I'd secured something rare and desirable. Reflecting now, it appears more like acquisition than authentic connection, her interest strategic rather than heartfelt. The shifts emerged subtly at first, eroding the foundation we built. She expressed disdain for my colleagues, labeling them too informal for her taste. She curated my wardrobe, insisting my casual attire made her uncomfortable in public settings. Upon my promotion to senior developer, she merely shrugged with a dismissive comment. Keep it in perspective, it's essentially typing code all day. Family gatherings amplified the strain. Brittany's parents, Kenneth and Linda, operated a boutique consulting firm across the river in Virginia. Their conversations laced with professional networking undertones. They'd inquire about my position, and upon hearing software development, they'd offer polite nods before pivoting to other subjects like market trends or upcoming events. Brittany never intervened, joining in when Kenneth quipped about keyboard warriors or when Linda pondered aloud if I'd pursue a more managerial path someday. Yet Megan stood apart in those dynamics. At 27, she freelanced as a graphic designer based in Alexandria, posing genuine inquiries about my daily challenges as if the answers truly intrigued her. During a recent project debrief where I outlined optimizing an algorithm for a federal database, she leaned in, absorbing every detail without interruption. At a backyard cookout last spring, when Kenneth launched another barb about digital hermits, Megan smoothly redirected. "Kevin revamped my portfolio site recently," she declared to the group. "Spared me $300 and executed it flawlessly beyond what agencies offer." Brittany shot her a pointed look. "He enjoys messing with scripts." Megan countered gently. "He excels at aiding others." Our eyes locked across the picnic table, igniting a spark that transcended mere appreciation. Warning signals with Brittany accumulated steadily, intensifying the unease. She began excluding me from evenings out, rationalizing that my presence wouldn't align with the vibe. Critiques flowed endlessly, targeting how I organized the pantry, how I navigated traffic, how I articulated ideas in conversations. 6 months prior, when Brandon's texts surged, she turned instantly guarded. "He's navigating a high-stakes campaign," she justified. "I'm providing guidance as a team member." However, her device remained screened down during meals. She'd excuse herself to the bathroom for calls emerging with secretive smiles, and she'd drop lines like, "Brandon truly appreciates my perspective. He engages fully." The subtext rang clear, in contrast to you. The anniversary exchange, labeling me insecure, crystallized the pattern. She'd conditioned me gradually for this revelation. Morning after, Brittany departed for her office without so much as a goodbye. I phoned the firm claiming illness, a rarity in my 2-year streak, and positioned myself at the kitchen table contemplating Megan's number. Was this pathetic dialing my fiancé's friend over wounded feelings? It struck me as vulnerable, yet Megan had voiced that I warranted kinder treatment. Perhaps mere courtesy, but in 3 years no other had implied I outgrew Brittany's offerings. I pressed call, overriding hesitation. "Kevin?" Megan's voice carried surprise. "Everything all right?" "I need your candor on something," I replied. Brief silence followed. "All right. Does Brittany genuinely care about me?" The quiet extended endlessly, prompting me to check the connection. Eventually, Megan proposed meeting in person. This conversation demands face-to-face. We settled on a quaint cafe in DuPont Circle, equidistant from our routines. Megan appeared in a light sundress, appearing somewhat anxious as she claimed the opposite seat, folding her hands neatly. She referenced the insecure comment from your anniversary. My gut twisted. She shared that with you? Giggling over how you accepted it passively. Megan's delivery remained gentle, Kevin. Such responses aren't standard. Partners in love avoid those barbs. A fracture formed within me, releasing pent-up doubt. I've questioned if I'm too sensitive. No, you're valid. Megan extended her hand across the table, brushing mine. Brittany has a history of sharpness even in childhood, delivering hurtful remarks, then flipping blame onto the hurt party. Why the silence from everyone? Her skill lies in convincing others they provoke it. Megan's gaze intensified with uncharacteristic frustration. But Kevin, you escape that cycle. You're compassionate, diligent, and assist unprompted. You remember my preferred herbal blend. You engage when I discuss client briefs. Brittany dismisses those qualities. I regarded our linked hands, noting Megan's warmth contrasted Brittany's habitual detachment. Leaving has crossed my mind, I confessed. Act on it, Megan, encouraged without delay. Tension altered between us. Megan retracted her touch, cheeks flushing. Apologies for overreaching. No need? I examined her features, absorbing details loyalty to Brittany had previously obscured. One more query? She assented. Care for dinner with me? Solely us, no group pretense. Megan's smile emerged, and breathing eased after prolonged constriction. Evening arrival at the apartment carried shifted energy. Brittany reclined on the couch, phone pressed close, laughing at Brandon's anecdote. Must hang up, she noted upon my entry. Kevin's here. She disconnected, regarding me expectantly. The coffee? Slipped my mind. Her demeanor soured. I specified it clearly. Conversation required, I interjected. Brittany faltered, accustomed to dominance. Regarding, Brandon, your demeanor, our bond. She placed her phone deliberately. This ought to entertain. Presumably, you've stewed on last night, craving deep dialogue. Cease communication with Brandon, I asserted. Brittany erupted in amusement. Excuse me? The incessant exchanges, calls, unfitting for commitment. Brandon's professional ally won't sever ties due to your suspicions. Suspicion defines it precisely. Brittany rose arms, folded. Classic Kevin, intimidated by all. Brandon leads elite strategies. Pilots a premium vehicle. Possesses property in prime locales. Inevitably unsettling. The strike aimed true, yet clarity supplanted typical deflation. Accurate, I'm unsettled not by Brandon's achievements. What then? My committed partner engages disloyally, pretending I'm delusional. Brittany's visage cooled. Disloyal, Kevin, ridiculous. Truly? Latest instance you enjoyed my humor? Accepted my call publicly? Championed me? Defense unnecessary. Indeed, essential. Volume escalated unwittingly. Love entails advocacy, backing not insecurity labels. Brittany observed, prolonged her smile icy. Desire truth, Kevin? Brandon proposed closer partnership. Finalizing arrangements desires my presence post. Mentioned our status but reconsideration looms. Words intended devastation, yet 6 months prior would have now elicited liberation. Thus disloyalty confirmed. Options exploration prudent paired with stagnant developer. Coding holds merit. If complacency appeals, but not mine. Brittany retrieved her device. Brandon prizes ambition, intellect, aspiration beyond debugging hourly. Cruelty absorbed culmination of incremental wounds. Tonight, hotel stay, I declared. Fine contact, Brandon. Threshold crossed, I pivoted. Incidentally, Brittany coffee with Megan today. Her countenance wavered. Reason? She asserts better deserved. Megan ignorant on relations, single extended. Perhaps anticipating suitable. Departed pre-response. Vehicle initiated, Megan dialed. Outcome? She queried. Predicted precisely. Engine roared. Brandon selected. Regret, Kevin? None necessary. Optimal occurrence, potentially? Ronald, Megan's father, resided Bethesda townhouse. Expression read, he fetched beers. Brittany, narrative unfolded. Ronald disliked Brittany historically silent, assuming contentment. Expression shadowed. Months orchestration, he concluded. Brandon illusions, degradations, inferiority induction. Dump acceptance preparation. Direct termination absent? Backup necessity. Brandon failure fallback you. Ronald drank deeply. Kevin relationship commentary avoided but toxicity evident. Dawn Megan messaged status. Called response. Today possible? Disclosure needed. Identical cafe, Megan concerned. Brittany phoned yesterday, she proceeded. Breakdown allegation, disloyalty accusation, exit storm. Her account? Reasoning, plea, luck, reminder. Megan measured. Improper accusation, discomfort induction, covert contact. Trap perceived Brittany preemptive alienation. Megan honesty plea, trust. Assent. Brittany perpetual? Youth inclusive. Megan, contemplative. 15. Brittany dated Travis, sweet guitarist, garage employee. Months, mockery, attire, vehicle kin. Abrupt party, Kyle Morrison arrival, family realty magnates. Travis fate, text termination. Week subsequent, Travis associates disseminated disloyalty, Kyle months. Undenied. Megan hands gazed. Linda proud upgrade chatter. Pattern solidified. Loyal, decent retention, superior, hunt, cruel, discard. Megan resentful. Enabling, prevalent, Brittany elevates, status, wealth. Brandon attached. Brittany disregards deal, victory, assumption. Megan lifted gaze. Kevin observed 3 iterations escalating cruelty. Warning omission, attempted. Holiday fatigue, mention opening, hope, overtime excuse. Megan extended. 2 years intent. Approach dilemma, friends, fiancé, condemnation. Better merit assertion possible. Party delivery. Admitted unreadiness. Megan melancholic smile. Readiness current, multifaceted readiness. Week ensuing, Brittany interaction minimal. Late returns bedroom Brandon calls. Couch habitation out countdown. Megan daily dialogue. Cafe lunches evolution. Client aspirations studio ambition shared. Historic site code revival satisfaction detailed. Brittany work inquiry absent Megan observed afternoon. Boring designation. Engaging illumination evident. Megan beamed. Expression algorithm elucidation captivating. Growth inter us. Respect authentic engagement mockery-free humor. Megan cautious utterance. Disclosure required. Proceed. Feelings emergence you. Timing suboptimal. Brittany entanglement awareness essential. Megan prolonged quiet dread destruction. Admission I've harbored since initial dinner. Brittany boyfriend introduction undeserving perception. Silence rationale. Friend involvement love assumption loneliness self-convince. Loneliness absent. Awaited you equivalent. Brittany handling truth conveyance. Fury inevitable Brandon choice. Disloyalty allegation. Permit. Acquaintances discern irrelevant otherwise. Brittany's familial assembly impending weekend, Kenneth Linda's Fairfax residence, Linda birthday. Annual kin convergence celebration rumor mill. Brittany ring flaunt plan, discourse anticipation. Attendance expectation Megan noted. Superior strategy. Friday packing Brittany Brandon's. Ring counter note placement. Rightness acknowledgement. Brandon happiness wish. Saturday Megan retrieval. Green dress eye accentuation. Smile Brittany absent peace. Anxious? Fairfax drive inquiry. Petrified, exhilarated. Brittany eruption. Beneficial, true revelation. Megan chuckled. Family astonishment. Portion awaited. 2 p.m. arrival. Window, Brittany narrative dominance probable, marketer beau future boast. Past convergence unaware. Prepared? Megan hand clasp. Affirmative. Brittany window sighting pre-door. Expression sequence. Confusion, incredulity, fury. Linda, door, Brittany, relative, shove, confrontation. Scenario, Megan, me, scrutiny. Presence, hello Brittany, calm. Megan, invitation. Invitation, fiancé status. Former, steady amid spectator. Counter verification. Brittany blanched, phone extraction, apartment, confirm, probable. Friend abandonment, circle disloyalty. Disloyalty, absent, unlike certain. Kenneth advance, occurrence. Brittany Brandon, disloyalty, months. Megan articulate. Insecure label Kevin departure. Incorrect Brittany initiation. Brandon attached. Linda sharp interrupt. Silence dissent. Brittany kinscan narrative forfeiture realization. Deal conclusion soon defensive. Attached engagement Ronald Megan father. Unlike precise Megan. Initial no. Travis recollection. Collegiate another. Brittany eyes support quest absent. Brandon future possession desperate. Coder mere. Contempt air suspension. Kin glance exchange. Kevin quality individual. Linda sister quiet. Respectful benevolent. Network repair Summer Ronald supplement. Payment refusal. Tech aid half Kenneth daughter disappointment gaze. Brittany ensnared. Family initial clarity. 6 months tail exposure. Brandon partner message discovery Brittany cautionary. Brandon firm loss asset half settlement. Brittany employment termination scandal workplace reach. Client disloyalty policy breach. Parental relocation months reputation rebuild. DC. Compactness gossip prevalence. Replaceable sensation Brittany friend abandonment. Megan aisle. Gradual proper dating friend introduction authentic construction. Year proposal identical. Cafe better merit assertion. Affirmation pre-completion. 2-year post-assembly matrimony. Linda wedding weep joy assurance. Kenneth Megan aisle escort hoped son-in-law declaration. Brittany online date attendance. Polite subdued bridge irreparable comprehension. Ronald best man. Address. Desired loss needed discovery facilitation. Megan 4th grade design. Consultancy launch. Alexandria residence office garage offspring future. Brittany correctness singular. Insecure her realm. Meaning misjudgment. Worthless negation. Valuing liberation. Revenge happiness occasional. Brittany spotted us through the window before we even knocked. Her face cycled through shock, disbelief, and raw anger. By the time Linda swung the door open, Brittany shoved past relatives to confront us in the entryway. "What is going on here?" she demanded, glaring between Megan and me. "Why are you showing up together like this?" "Hello, Brittany," I said, keeping my tone even as the room full of family turned to stare. "Megan invited me to join." "Invited you? You're supposed to be my fiancée." "Not anymore," I replied, holding steady while whispers spread. "Check the kitchen counter back at the apartment." Brittany's color drained as she fumbled for her phone, likely texting someone to verify the ring and note. "You left me for my own friend," she shouted, loud enough for the entire house to hear. "You betrayed me with someone in my circle." "I never betrayed anyone," I stated calmly, "unlike others here." Kenneth stepped forward, his voice firm. "What's happening exactly?" "Brittany has been disloyal with Brandon for months," Megan said clearly, projecting her words. "She called Kevin insecure at their anniversary, so he walked away." "That's not what happened," Brittany started to protest. "Brandon is still married, isn't he?" Linda cut in, her tone sharp and accusatory. The room went silent as relatives exchanged uneasy glances. "His situation will resolve," Brittany defended, her voice rising in pitch. "So you've been involved with a married colleague while engaged?" Uncle Ronald, Megan's father, said from the corner, his expression stern. "It's not that simple." "It is exactly that simple," Megan responded. "And this isn't new for her. Remember Travis from high school? Or the guy from college?" Brittany's eyes darted, seeking allies, but finding none as the narrative slipped from her control. "At least Brandon has real potential," she snapped desperately. "At least he's not stuck in code all day." The disdain echoed in the air, prompting more exchanged looks among the family. "Kevin is a solid person," Linda said quietly, breaking the tension. "He's always been kind and reliable." "He fixed our home network last fall," added Ronald, refusing payment for the work. "He's helped several of us with tech issues over the years," Kenneth admitted, glancing at Brittany with clear disappointment. Brittany realized the shift, her carefully built image crumbling before everyone. "This can't be how it ends," she muttered, her voice cracking for the first time. But the damage was done. Relatives began murmuring about past behaviors, whispering stories of similar patterns they'd ignored before. Linda pulled Brittany aside into the kitchen, her whispers harsh, but the door didn't muffle everything. "How could you do this to our family?" she asked, audible to those nearby. Brittany's replies grew defensive, insisting it was just options, not betrayal. Meanwhile, Megan and I stood in the living room, fielding questions from curious aunts and uncles. Ronald approached, clapping my shoulder. "You've handled this with grace, son," he said. "Megan's been talking about you for years now." I glanced at her, our hands brushing again, sparking that same warmth. As the afternoon wore on, the gathering fractured. Some relatives left early, citing prior commitments, while others lingered to discuss the fallout. Brittany emerged from the kitchen, eyes red but composed, attempting to rally support. "This is all a misunderstanding," she announced to the remaining group. "Kevin overreacted to work texts, that's all." But Megan shook her head, stepping forward with her phone. "I have screenshots," she said, showing the room a series of messages Brittany had sent her, bragging about Brandon's offers. The evidence sealed it. Kenneth sighed deeply, turning to Brittany. "We need to talk privately later," he said. "For now, let's wrap this up." We left shortly after, the atmosphere too heavy to salvage Linda's birthday celebration. In the car, Megan exhaled long and slow. "That went better than expected," she said. "Your family saw her true side." "Some did," I agreed, "but others might side with her out of habit." Ronald called as we drove, updating that Brittany stormed out after more arguments, vowing to handle things her way. Days following were tense. Brittany bombarded my phone with texts, alternating between apologies and accusations. I blocked her number, focusing instead on packing my belongings from the apartment. Megan helped sort through boxes, sharing stories from our shared circles that confirmed the pattern even further. Work became my anchor. I dove into a side project, an app for streamlining federal data processing, drawing from my firm's resources without overstepping. Meetings with clients felt refreshing, free from Brittany's constant second-guessing. Megan and I met for lunch most days, discussing everything from her latest design commissions to my code breakthroughs. One afternoon at a park bench near the Capitol, she opened up more. "I've watched Brittany cycle through people like this," she said, "always upgrading, never appreciating what's in front of her." "Why stay friends so long?" I asked. "Habit and hope she'd change," Megan admitted. "But seeing how she treated you pushed me over the edge." The scandal rippled outward. Word reached Brittany's office about her involvement with Brandon violating their ethics code on client relationships since he oversaw key accounts. She lost her position within weeks, forced to update her LinkedIn with vague reasons. Friends distanced themselves, gossip spreading through DC's tight professional networks. Brandon faced his own repercussions, his marriage ending messier than planned with legal battles over assets. I heard through mutual contacts he blamed Brittany for the exposure, regretting the entanglement. Megan and I grew closer naturally, without rushing. Evenings turned into walks along the National Mall debating future goals. She dreamed of opening a design studio specializing in branding for nonprofits. I shared my ambition to launch the app independently, perhaps pitching it to government agencies. "Your passion shows when you talk tech," she noted one night under the streetlights. "Brittany never saw that." "It's fulfilling, bringing ideas to life," I replied, "like rewiring old systems to function better." She smiled, leaning closer. "You deserve someone who gets that." Weeks blended into months, the initial drama fading, but lessons lingering. Family calls came in sporadically, Kenneth reaching out to check on me, apologizing for not intervening sooner. Linda sent a card expressing regret for the blind spots in their parenting. Ronald invited us for dinner, treating me like part of the circle. Brittany attempted one final contact through a mutual friend pleading for closure, but I declined, knowing it would reopen wounds unnecessarily. My project gained traction, securing a small grant from a tech incubator in Virginia. Late nights coding felt empowering, reclaiming time once lost to doubt. Megan's support proved invaluable, reviewing interfaces, offering creative input that elevated the design. We celebrated milestones with quiet dinners, her laughter genuine, not at expense. Something real built between us, rooted in mutual respect, not possession. As summer turned to fall, I proposed during a sunset stroll by the tidal basin. Megan accepted, tears in her eyes. The ring, simple yet meaningful, symbolized fresh starts. Planning the wedding involved both families cautiously navigating the past. Ronald beamed, walking her down the aisle. Kenneth attended, subdued but present, acknowledging growth. Brittany heard through grapevine but stayed away, bridges burned beyond repair. Our life unfolded in Alexandria, a cozy home with space for her studio and my home office. Kids entered, planned someday along with travels we'd postponed. Brittany's words once stung but now echoed as irony. Insecure in her world, yet they freed me to embrace true value. Revenge wasn't sought, happiness sufficed. But the journey taught deeper truths about self-worth and boundaries. Recognizing red flags early prevents years of erosion. Stand firm when dismissed. Your intuition often signals truth. For those listening, if patterns emerge, act decisively. Life offers better paths when you claim them. Thank you for hearing my story. If it resonated, subscribe for more and comment your thoughts below. The months after the family gathering brought a sense of closure I hadn't anticipated. Brittany's attempts at contact dwindled to nothing after I changed my number and email forwarding any shared bills through a neutral third party. The apartment lease ended smoothly, with me moving into a small place in Alexandria, closer to work, and Megan's studio space. She helped unpack boxes, turning the process into lighthearted afternoons filled with music and takeout from local spots. Our bond deepened without the shadow of past drama hovering over every conversation. Evenings often involved collaborative sessions where I'd test her design mock-ups on my app prototypes, her feedback sharpening both our visions. Work momentum built rapidly. The grant led to partnerships with local agencies interested in my data tool. Presentations at tech meetups in DC drew attention, one leading to a seed investment from a venture group focused on GovTech innovations. Late nights turned productive, not lonely, as Megan dropped by with coffee, sharing updates on her branding projects for community organizations. "Your drive inspires me," she said one evening as we reviewed wireframes on my laptop. Brittany always downplayed it, calling it just screen time. "It's more than that," I replied. "It's solving real problems, making systems efficient for people who need them." She nodded, her hand on my shoulder. "That's why you shine when you explain it." Family dynamics shifted gradually. Kenneth and Linda reached out sporadically at first, with cautious emails checking on my well-being. Over time, conversations grew warmer, Linda inviting Megan and me for a low-key dinner where apologies flowed freely. "We enabled her behavior too long," Kenneth admitted over dessert. Seeing the truth that day opened our eyes. Ronald became a regular presence, hosting barbecues at his Bethesda home where stories of past family mishaps surfaced, lightening the mood. Megan's relationship with her own kin strengthened her openness about the events, earning respect for standing firm. Brittany's downfall played out in fragments gleaned from mutual acquaintances. The office termination hit hard, her resume circulating without bites in DC's competitive comms scene. Brandon's divorce finalized amid ugly court proceedings, his firm distancing from the scandal to protect client trust. Social circles shrank, friends citing discomfort with the details, opting for distance over drama. She relocated temporarily to Virginia, living with Kenneth and Linda while job hunting, her online presence scrubbed of previous boasts. Whispers suggested therapy sessions, but details remained private. Phoenix-like, she attempted reinvention, but the city's interconnected networks proved unforgiving. Meghan and I took our time, savoring the unhurried pace. Dates evolved from cafe meets to weekend getaways exploring Virginia wineries or hiking trails in Shenandoah. Her graphic work flourished, landing a contract with a nonprofit coalition, her studio expanding to include an assistant. I launched the app officially at a DC tech conference, the user base growing steadily through word of mouth and beta testers. Success felt earned, not accidental, built on foundations Brittany had mocked. The proposal came naturally during a quiet picnic by the Potomac cherry blossoms in full bloom. Meghan accepted with a tearful yes, our embrace sealing promises of partnership, not possession. Wedding planning balanced simplicity with sentiment, opting for a garden venue in Alexandria attended by close family and friends. Ronald walked her down the aisle, his pride evident in every step. Kenneth gave a toast, acknowledging past mistakes and celebrating new beginnings. Linda's gift, a custom piece of art from Meghan's portfolio, symbolized healing. Brittany's absence went unmentioned, bridges long since collapsed under the weight of revelations. Married life settled into a rhythm of shared routines and individual pursuits. Our home filled with laughter, her designs adorning walls, my tech setups in the office nook. Plans for children emerged alongside travel dreams, postponed no longer. Brittany's echo faded, a distant memory replaced by gratitude for the clarity her words provided. Yet the experience imparted lasting lessons about recognizing one's value amid toxicity. Disloyalty often hides in plain sight, masked as friendship or professional bonds. Prioritizing self-respect means walking away when patterns persist, no matter the investment. For listeners facing similar doubts, trust your instincts early to avoid prolonged pain. Life rewards those who choose authenticity over convenience. Meghan, reflecting on it all, shared her perspective one evening as we sat on the porch. This story shows how overlooking red flags erodes self-worth over time, she said, her voice thoughtful. Brittany's actions stemmed from her insecurities projected onto others, but that doesn't excuse the hurt caused. The real value lies in learning to spot manipulation, whether in relationships or family dynamics, and setting boundaries firmly. It's a warning to everyone. If you feel diminished consistently, it's not paranoia, it's a signal to reevaluate. By sharing, we empower others to make healthier choices, avoiding cycles of betrayal and regret. Thank you all for listening to our journey. If it struck a chord, subscribe for more inspiring tales and comment your own experiences below.